Hello, ladies, and welcome back. And this week we'll be discussing the soft skill problem solving and analytical thinking. So, what is problem solving and analytical thinking, and why is it so important? Before we dig deeper into that concept, I'm going to ask you some questions. The first question is: do you enjoy taking on challenging or difficult problems? And the second question is: can you spot connections in situations where other people may not be able to? In life, we are constantly being faced with problems and challenges. Sometimes we might go out of our way to avoid dealing with these problems, but rarely do these problems go away on their own, and eventually we'll have to deal with them. Problem solving is a skill that can be learned along with all the other skills. Learning how to apply these skills to real problems that present themselves can make you stronger and more confident. You will be able to deal with life's challenges more positively and proactively. This week, you're going to reflect on your current ability to solve problems and arrive at solutions. Secondly, you're going to brainstorm various aspects of problem solving and analytical skills. And lastly, you're going to identify a situation you're currently involved in now, and you're going to plan to apply some problem solving skills and analytical techniques while you're currently in that situation. So now I'm going to introduce you to the sixth step problem solving method. And this is a problem solving technique that can be applied to almost any problem, big or small. The first one is called define the problem. Before you solve a problem, you need to understand what the problem actually is. Think about what would happen if you did nothing and whether the problem needs to be solved now or it can wait until later. You could also think about who is the best person to solve this problem and if the responsibility should lie on you or someone else. In thinking through this stage, it can help to write down the problem in simple, easy to understand language. Step 2 is find the root cause. A problem and what causes a problem is not the same thing. Sometimes you might be able to find more than one root cause of a problem. Once you have identified one or more root cause, you can then test your ideas to see if there are any evidence to support them or whether you've reached the wrong conclusion. Step 3, develop different solutions. In this stage, you should try to think as creatively as possible. Ask other people or do some research on how others have solved this problem in the past. Use mind maps or make lists and write your ideas down on paper or maybe draw your solutions if you're an artistic person. You could also imagine the problem being solved and then work backwards to imagine the different ways it could be solved. Write down any ideas which come to you and challenge yourself to think of the most unusual solutions you can find. Think about what if rather than what or how. Step 2, select a solution. Once you have a range of possible solutions, you can then think about the best one. Make 2 lists and write down the advantages and disadvantages of each solution. Think about what might happen if the problem isn't solved. If money is the most important consideration, then work out the cheapest solution. If time is of an issue, decide on the quickest solution. Step 5, carry out the solution. When you've made a decision on which solution to use, you should then plan each step before starting to solve the problem. Think about how long you might need or who else needs to be involved. Decide what you need to do, what other people need to do, and make sure that other people understand this too. Give yourself a time limit and remind yourself what solving the problem might look like. Decide how you'll know when the problem is solved. Lastly, step 6, evaluate the solution. If the problem remains unsolved or things are actually getting worse, don't carry on with the same solution when it's obviously not working. You might even have to go back to an early stage in the cycle and start that same process again. If you solve the problem, then you can feel proud of yourself. But don't stop there. Think about why the solution worked and whether there's anything you could do differently next time. Remember how you solve the problem and remember these lessons in case the problem arises again in the future. As always, ladies, it's okay if your skills don't develop overnight. We are all learning and striving to become better one day at a time. Once you've completed this video, please head over to Part B, the Google form. And lastly, you'll have the opportunity to complete a checklist with someone close to you to assess how well you solve problems. All information has been taken from the program Understanding My Journey, a toolkit for soft skill development for young people. All right, ladies, it was great having you back this week, and we hope to see you next week. Bye for now.